If email and SMS are not making as many sales as you'd like, consider this for just a minute. If you had a lingering cough or a sprained ankle, would you follow the same protocol for both? Probably not. Each issue needs its own solution. Yet many e-com health and wellness brands still blast out one-size-fits-all emails, which end up in spam or ignored because each subscriber has a different goal or faces a different challenge. They're not all after the same get healthy pitch. But when you speak to each person's unique needs, excitement goes up, and so do your sales. So, if you want to get more opens, clicks, and sales with email and SMS, here's what I'm about to show you in the next 10 minutes. A simple way to group your audience by different health goals or problems. How to write subject lines and email copy that appeal to each group's biggest worries or desires. One simple way to learn more about your customers so you keep people interested and boost your sales with every single send. Now, before we dive in, I want to introduce myself. I'm Chris, co-founder of 3 Beacon Marketing. We help D2C ecom brands in health and wellness space scale marketing profitably. We're on a mission to help ecom brands bring in over $1 billion in revenue over the next 10 years because that means more people's lives are changed. Now, let's see why making your emails more personal leads to better open rates, higher click rates, and more sales. If you run a D2C ecom brand in health and wellness, you need to shape your emails around each customer's unique goals and problems. Sounds pretty obvious, right? Well, most brands either ignore this or don't have the time, knowledge, or urgency to make it happen. And I get it, you're growing a brand. Combing through customer data sounds about as fun as standing in line at the DMV. But a general get healthier now message doesn't work because your audience faces many different problems. Stress, low energy, stubborn weight, fear of a chronic illness, the list goes on. So when you address each specific problem, you show that you understand them. This makes people loyal to your brand, raises email opens and clicks, and leads to more sales because you care. Here's how to go about doing that. All right, so the first place or the first step we want to go to is we want to start by finding out what health goals or problems our customers actually have. So maybe some want to relax, some want to reduce stress, others want to drop a few pounds, get fit, whatever it may be, their goals or their problems. We want to figure out what those are and use those to group people based on those problems so we can send them unique emails. So the question here is, where do you find this information? You can look at purchase history. You can look at survey answers if you've done surveys. How people interact with your emails or your website will give you some information too. What we're looking for here is interest. Is interest and interest in a product or interest in a category? Those types of things will give us an idea of what products or what offers we can make people. So I'm going to show you some examples of that. Basically, for example, if you see a bunch of people clicking on your like stress related topics or stress related products, you can assume that if you segment by that, they're stress related type interest in the products that you sell. So you can segment on that. Another example would be a sleep aid. Maybe you have a sleep gummy or a supplement or a tincture or a drink or something that helps people sleep. And let's say that somebody buys that once every 30 days and it's been going for 4 months. They're definitely interested in that product. Maybe there's a unique offer you can make to get them into an energy product or maybe a multivitamin or something to upsell them into some or cross-sell or upsell into something else, right? So all of these behaviors that are inside of the data that you can collect, these behaviors, you can actually find different ways to group and segment people, send them offers, and get them to buy even more. So here's some examples. This one's for sleep better. So let's say the person we segment and we want to say we want to target people that want to sleep better. So I'm in Klaviyo right now, but most email softwares can do this. If they can't, I would highly advise you move or get help from their support team to make this happen. This is where this is where the money happens when it comes to email. So let's say the goal for the customer, the segment we want to make is the customer wants to sleep better. So what can we do to actually segment people that are interested in sleeping better? The most direct way is to, in Klaviyo, these are called metrics here, but is to go to the viewed product metric. Now, once we're in the viewed product metric, what we're going to look at is how many times they've actually looked at this product. So I'm going to leave this, at least once overall time, just as an example, but you can put this as equals or is greater than, is less than, etc. So you can play around with this to get some ideas on who we're actually speaking to, okay? So with that being said, the next thing is what category is the viewed product in? So if our goal is to find customers or subscribers who haven't purchased yet that are interested in sleeping better, let's say they looked at a product is greater than 3 times overall time. This is just an example. Categories are in our stress and sleep category here. Okay. What that's going to show here is 13,544 people who have looked at it at least 3 times, but they haven't purchased because we have this segment down or this metric down here as well. But that gives us an idea that there's 58,000 people who have looked at least 3 times overall time. And you can also mess with this and say between dates, after, before, last 30 days, etc. And you can get super specific, or you can leave it a little broad just to get you an idea of how many people are there. So let's put this back to at least once overall time. This is going to give us our 46,000 here. And then the next metric we want to add in here because in this case, we're targeting people who have not purchased before, but they are interested. So they looked at a given product a number of times, but they haven't purchased yet. So there's some reason why. And so the next metric is placed order. So placed order 0 times overall time. And the category needs to match what your viewed product is, right? So sleep, stress and sleep up here, stress and sleep down here. This little simple setup is showing us, one, people who viewed a product in sleep and stress, okay? And two, people who looked in that same category but did not place an order. Now, you can get specific and do certain items. So you got categories, there's different items, includes any of, and then your specific category. Okay. This shows us who are people who are interested but didn't buy. So what this gives us is 46,000 at the high end and maybe around 10,000 at the low end, based on this list and the size that they have of people who we could send an offer to, right? Here's another example. So similar setup. This one, the goal for the customer is gut detox. They want to detox their gut. They want some gut health stuff. They're looking at gut health as a general category. Same setup, viewed product metric, placed order metric 0 times. And with this high level one, without some specifics, we're looking at 51,000 people as a part of the list, as like a subgroup of the list that we can make an offer to about gut health or gut detox or whatever it may be. And so if you mess around with, again, with this piece here, overall time, maybe it's between certain dates. I don't know. There's all different kinds of things you can do. Place order 0 times, overall time, etc. And you can find people who are interested in something but haven't bought yet. The other side of this is you can find people who have purchased multiple times, at least 3 times of a given product, let's say over the last 6 months, and you want to offer them a subscription deal, or you want to offer them like a bundle deal, like, hey, buy 3 bottles instead of 1 and get it for 20% off. So there's different ways to leverage these little metrics of viewed product and placed order or viewed category and placed order, whatever it may be. And this is where a lot of money is hiding inside a brand's e-com list. Like this right here, we have 51,000 people that we can make a specific, unique offer about gut health to that otherwise would have gotten just a general get healthier pitch, a blast to everybody about their general health, or maybe a multivitamin, something they haven't even looked at yet. So this is where brands miss out on cash. This is where they miss out every time. Final example, same thing for multivitamin, same setup, view product, placed order. You can mess around with that. This one's a little lower, but it's still at 34,000 people that are interested in a multivitamin and haven't bought it yet. So like, there's just tons of opportunity here. And if you are a supplement brand that has a couple dozen products or even a couple hundred, you could send 2 to 3 emails a day based on these categories and segments, make up a ton of cash, just because you're segmenting appropriately. Okay. So with that being said, the next piece here is now that you have your segment, let's say you have a sleep, you have a gut detox, you have a multivitamin segment, right? What do you do with that? Like, how do you get them to open the email? The offer itself, we're not going to get into today, but I'll give you an idea of what offers actually are and just how they're structured. But we're not going to dive deep into that today because it is an entirely different topic. It's an entirely different video. So ultimately, what do you do once you have that segment? So you don't want to rely on a simple get healthier pitch or like improve your life pitch, because that's really not going to hit a problem or a goal for people. Most everybody wants to get healthier. Most people don't want to be sick. They want to heal their injury. They want to get stronger in some way, shape, or form. So it's very general. It's very broad, and it doesn't really tap into the emotion that somebody's feeling during a given event or given desire, right? Once we have that, we want to build an offer. We want to build an offer that we can send to this specific group. So, like I mentioned, what is an offer? Offer really comprises of 4 parts, 4 things. If your offer doesn't have these 4 things, it is not an offer, and it's probably weak and not compelling. So the first is a promise for an outcome, a promise for a relief, a promise for a remedy, some kind of result that you can promise, right? The second piece is delivered on a timeline. Is it in 7 days? Is it in 1 pill? Is it in 90 days? Is it after 57 minutes of taking a training course? There is a specific timeline from start to finish. If there's no timeline and it's open-ended, it is not a very strong offer unless something else of these 4 is it's weighted heavier and being compelling. Okay. Third thing is it has a guarantee or a risk reversal. So remove as much friction as you possibly can to get somebody in the door. You can try this product for 30 days, and if you don't like it, send it back. Full money refund. We'll pay for shipping. That is a risk reversal. I guarantee you will lose 30 pounds in the next 90 days, guaranteed, or X, Y, and Z, right? This is what removes friction for people to actually give it a try. So that's the third thing. The fourth thing, and probably first, if not second to your promise, is what's called a unique mechanism. Or in other words, what makes this different than anything else the person has tried. This right here is really hard to come by because e-com supplements, tinctures, things like that is highly saturated from a product standpoint. When it comes to a customer standpoint, not quite as saturated, but The unique mechanism, what makes it different or how it's different from everything else they've tried, that is going to get their attention. It's going to make them think, huh, I've not tried that or I've not seen that before. I'm going to give that a try. Okay. Those are the 4 things that go with an offer. So just a little mini course there on that. I'm not going to go into the psychology behind why these things are or how to actually create a great offer or how to test one and manipulate and modify it to fit the market that you're sending it to. But there's a lot that goes into if you get the offer right, basically everything else you can kind of do half-assed and it won't be a big deal. So there's that. So to put a ball on this, we know who we're sending to. We're going to make them an offer. How do we get them to open the email? Okay. So the main thing here is the subject line, right? The subject line is going to get their attention. If there is a past relationship with your from name, that is going to carry some weight too. But if you don't have a whole lot of relationship, you've been sending pretty just broad general emails, you're probably not going to have there's not really going to be a relationship. There's not going to be an emotional connection, if you will. So we have to rely on some kind of subject line hook, curiosity, something compelling to get them to at least open it so they'll read the offer. If they don't open it, they don't see the offer, they don't buy, almost useless in sending. Okay. So this is a huge deal. Here's some examples that I came up with for what we've got going here. So if our goal or the segment we made earlier, looked at earlier, was sleep better segment, right? So a subject line for this, there's 5 here. I'll go over a couple of them. And these are kind of off the cuff. They're not specific to any one brand, but I'll show you an example of something that's non-specific and we'll see the difference. Okay. Sleep better segment, the subject line, ready for best night's sleep ever. Obviously people want a good night's sleep and it's about sleep. That's great. And then the preview text is grab a rest and recharge bundle. So we're making a direct offer about helping people sleep better. That's way more specific than this. Kickstart your day, 3 essentials for peak performance, right? Like, what does that even mean? Like, I don't know what that is. Let's look at another example. Let's go the third one here. Subject line, snooze deeper, wake happier. Okay. That's a little more conceptual, but I can understand that. Preview text, your final step to better sleep. That's way more on the nose and more direct. It's about sleep. I want to wake happier. Okay, cool. I kind of understand what I'm going to get if I open this email or what you're at least promising, right? Let's look at a general. Let's do the third one here just to keep with the trend here. Ready for a total wellness upgrade. Simple steps you can take now. Wellness upgrade is as close as to specific as we can get, and it's still pretty general. So like, of course, you're not getting a lot of opens there. People, unless they know your brand and know your from name, they're not going to open this email. It's not specific to the problem or the goal, and it has no kind of benefit or outcome that you're promising. It just says a wellness upgrade. What does that even mean? Is that fixing my ankle sprains? Is it fixing my chest cough? Is it making my hair grow back? Like, what does that even mean? So when it comes to the subject lines, there, that's how you get them more specific. And granted, those subject lines you just saw, they're not as compelling as they could be, but they're examples of going from just kickstart your day to better sleep, right? Like just that one layer or one step to more specific is going to get you more opens to the segment that you're sending to that is based on sleep, that then you're going to give them that offer, right? So if you line those things up, you have the group, you have the offer, or you have the segment, you have the product, and you have the offer. Those 3 things lined up, you're going to get better results with it. The last piece, section 3 here, automate for deeper engagement and higher sales. Something that a lot of brands miss or they miss out on is they send a bunch of random campaigns. They don't have a lot of flows set up to capture people that go back to the website. And so using automated flows that send the right message to the right group at the right time, that is a huge advantage to you. And it's automated, so it sells while you sleep. And that's one of the biggest things that you can do for your brand is put these like core flows in place for your e-com brand so that they're always sending, always selling, always working on your customers to get them to the next stage, whether it be coming back to look at our products, add to cart, finish checkout, purchase, right? What you can do here, and this is a little more advanced piece, but with the automated side, you can start collecting what's called first-party data. First-party data is essentially information that your customer gives to you directly. You don't go and get it from a big data source. You don't ask a third party to give it to you of any kind. They give it to you directly. Okay. Now, what does that mean? So, for example, when new people sign up for your list, they're typically just giving you their name and their email and maybe sometimes their phone number to get like a 10% off code. You can add an extra step there to ask them, hey, why are you signing up or what are you doing here? Essentially, better phrasing, obviously, make it more beneficial to them. But you're just asking why. Why are you interested in my type of product or my brand, or why are you trying to get help with X, Y, and Z? And you have them select an option. And what that does is it gives you insight. It gives you insight into what to send them next. It tags their profile. So, for example, I'll show you this here. So, if you take a peek at this, what you've got here is a welcome flow. But that welcome flow branches off based off what they may have selected on the sign-up form. So let's imagine somebody hits a pop-up and they put in their, they have to select what they're actually doing here. What is your health goal? What kind of health concern are you worried about? Why are you considering alternative medicine, or when it comes to protein powder, what's the most important thing to you? Whatever that question may be, we're gathering data. We're asking for them to give us something so we can personalize and customize their experience. So the primary thing here, and this is examples sticking with the sleep with the examples we had prior, a little bit tweaked, but you'll get the idea. So let's say they hit the sign up unit here. Okay. They select an option. Let's say they choose their goal is stress relief. They're trying to relieve stress. That's why they're here. That's why they're looking for the 10% off coupon, whatever it may be. They select that. They hit submit. Now, most every brand gets the idea that when somebody they submit a form, the brand wants to send them a welcome series, right? They want to send them some emails to say, hey, here's your 10% off coupon. Here's some products to try out. Go ahead and buy it. You want to try and prompt them into buying. Now, with that selection, with that, why are you here or what's your goal, whatever it may be, you can branch your email flow, your welcome flow to talk specifically about that problem or that goal, and you can customize it. You can personalize it. So most brands, they'll have just one flow. They'll just have one flow, one branch, or maybe like a non-customer versus return customer, but they don't have topic or interest specific branches that actually help the customer understand what they're actually going through. A lot of people that hit sign up forms are looking, they've got a problem, they're trying to define it. They know there's a solution out there. Maybe it's a pill, maybe it's a brace, maybe it's a drink, maybe it's this. They're looking for solutions. And we just say, hey, welcome to our brand. This is why we exist. Here's all of our top sellers. I hope you buy. And it's like, it's very non-specific and it's very just general. If you want to make it more specific, you take their selection, the information they give you, and customize the welcome flow for them. So, for example, they click stress relief. The next 5 emails are going to be based around and on stress relief, showing them stress relief products so they can use their 10% off coupon. And the same thing goes for sleep better, more energy, whatever. Whether you have 3 selections, 5 selections, 7, I wouldn't go over 7. That's kind of a bit, but 3 to 5 potential large picture selections of why are you here or what's your goal. You can customize this and make it super personalized for the subscriber, which specific and personal increases conversions across the board. That's the final piece there. And once you understand this, once you understand that, once you can segment, you can make an offer and you can automate stuff. Once you have those pieces in place, you literally just have to run as much traffic as you possibly can into your email system or into your email and SMS system, into your retention system. And that's where all your profit comes from. Because if you buy a customer on the front end and they come in and they don't buy a second, third, and fourth time, whatever your ROAS or your return was on the first purchase, that's it. That's all you have. But if they come in the door and you get them to buy second, three, fourth, 10th, 15 times because you're sending the appropriate campaigns to the appropriate people and you have flow set up in an appropriate way, that customer becomes more valuable to your brand over time. We want to shape our email campaigns around each customer's unique health goals and problems. Many brands still send broad generic emails that don't truly connect. When you speak to each subscriber's real needs and use the right automated flows, you get higher open rates, more clicks, and even more sales. The sooner you improve your segmentation and messages, the faster you'll see loyal fans, more revenue, and a community that trusts your brand. If you find this helpful, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out my other resources on email and SMS marketing for more easy-to-use tips. If you'd rather have a marketer with over 10 years of experience do this for you, click the link below and book a call now. Let's build those personal email funnels that really grow your health and wellness brand.